Hello and welcome back to a continuation of this moving in cover state, part 2. Um, we had a little bug in the last version, which we can see if we come up to a wall and press crouch. It's going to pop out of the wall again, and sometimes he's going to stay. Okay, so I was wondering why this was happening, and I actually already zoomed in on this. We have this check climbing state, which gets called on event tick here. So this constantly checks if we are facing a wall. So as soon as this gets set to is standing cover, then it will make this check, and that will, in some situations, switch it back to the wrong state. So one way of fixing this, I haven't really tested this, so this is going to be a test for me as well. It's going to take a look at the animation blueprint. No, actually, we're going to open up the montage. In the meantime, I moved into the acrobatics folder. See if we can find it. It's stand to cover montage. So he's gonna from the point where you start the transition to when he is in the cover state. There's gonna be a bit of a time passing. Actually, if you look down here, it's gonna take 1.1 second, more or less. So let's see, somewhere around here, maybe where he seems to be hitting the wall, something like it. Let's fire off an animation and notify, yeah, saying, okay, now we are in cover. So, yep. So once this point in the animation, time in the animation hits, we will fire this event. So inside the animation graph, event graph, sorry, let's say cover, event anim notify in cover, and then we will, at this point, we will say, okay, now we are in movement state, is standing cover. So I'm going to delete this one and put it down here. That means that when we start to take cover, nothing is going to happen with our cover state, but only when this event fires, then we will be in is standing cover. So let's see if it works. If we come up to the wall, and it's going to make a little twitch, I see, because he's still technically in walking state. So usually when that happens, all I need to do is just tweak a little bit on this this timing. So maybe move it a little bit further. As I said, I haven't tested this, so this is going to be okay. He's still doing something. One thing we can also do, maybe tweak on the blend. I think it's a blend out time. Set this to maybe 0.4. See if that will smooth it out. Nope. Anyway, I need to tweak a little bit on this and figure out how to fix it. But anyway, now we have a setup where this doesn't get fired prematurely. So let's just see if this made any difference. Nope, that made it even worse. So maybe if I just lower this one, so 0.1, will that make it better? Nope. did not help any bit at all. So probably we need to switch this already here. Something like here maybe. And then make this blend in 0.3 maybe. Well, still a little bit of movement. I will take a look at this later on. So let's also take a look at how we can get off the wall, because right now there's no way of getting off the wall. So inside our base character, I want to make it work the way that if you press any of the forward and backwards keys, I think right now, maybe either forward or backward while we are moving, then I want to get off the wall. So handle forward movement. I'm gonna say, okay, we have this add movement input going from the true here. So if we're not in a climbing state, then we'll just use this normal movement. So let's start off by putting something into the, let's make a little bit more space, and actually let's disconnect this one because it annoys me when we have these lines going all the way around. So let's put this one here, and we're gonna use the, okay, so if we are in let's see, here we want to actually test if our movement state is in standing cover. So in order to avoid yet another long line, let's promote this to a local variable, call it local movement state, and plug it in here like this, and actually we can plug this one in here and just move it up a little bit so it's more clear what's going on. Okay, so let's drag off from the false part down here and say branch, because we need to test now if we are in standing cover mode. So equal standing cover, and we also need one thing more, because this will actually fire every time. We need to make a little bit more space. We need to have another criteria here. We need to have an and, because this axis value is going to be 0, -1, 0, or 1, depending on which way, if we're moving back and forth. So, but it's going to fire every time. So unless we make a check to this axis value, it's going to do something every time. So let's say, okay, if this one is different from 0 also, so we're saying now if we are in standing cover mode and we are moving back or forward, then we want to put him out of his misery. No. We want to update movement state, so effectively put him out of the standing cover mode into not climbing, which is now, I see, a really bad name. Anyway, let's test this out. Let's see, so now I come up to the wall and I press crouch, and if I press forward, he's gonna pop off the wall. So I come up to the wall again and I press backwards, so he's gonna move off the wall. So now we can get into cover, we can move around and then quickly pop off the wall, which is, I think is a really important feature to have if you want to have this kind of cover system. Yes, usually these cover systems, the games that I played at least, was pretty annoying once you got into cover. Oh, we have another problem here, I see. You cannot turn the corner. Oh, okay. Well, that's something for future video, I think. One thing also you might also already have noticed is that if we jump into cover, take a look at the blue arrow, because that's the forward direction. So now he is actually technically facing forward. So if you remember let's get off the wall and jump up here and zoom into first person. Whoa, what's up with this? Ah, okay, I see. I disconnected something. What's this one? I think it was this one. Because I didn't have the HUD anymore, but it appears that I do. Okay, anyway. So here we have a limited movement of our camera. We can't look any further out here, which would be kind of realistic, I think. So the problem is, because we are now technically facing the wall, even when we switch, whoops, what is going on? So he is messing really bad up here. So in first person, as you can see, we have quite a few issues still to fix. So for example here, something with his rotation, because he takes over rotation. So that's something else we need to look into. But I will do that in the next video. So I think I'll cut this off for now and continue work in the next video. So for now, bye bye, and see you in the next.